get straight to our senior legal affairs correspondent, Paula Reed. She's got details. So what is Trump saying in this filing today?
Well, Judge Tanya Chutkan is an Obama appointee who was randomly assigned to oversee the Trump election subversion case. But she's been outspoken about the Capitol attack, as she has overseen several cases related to this, different prosecutions where she oversaw a case against a rioter as well as sentencing. And she has said things that the Trump team believes should disqualify her in this case. For example, they point to a quote from an October 2022 sentencing in which she said, quote, "The people who mobbed that Capitol were there in fealty, in loyalty to one man, not to the Constitution. It's a blind loyalty to one person who, by the way, remains free to this day." Now, the Trump lawyers argue in this filing that the fact that she said that means she does not want him to be free and that she has bias. They also point to another quote from December 2021 where she said, quote, "The people who exhorted you and encouraged you and rallied you to go and take action and to fight have not been charged," adding, "The issue of who has or has not been charged is not before me. I don't have any influence on that. I have my opinions, but they are not relevant." And the Trump lawyers argue that there would be little doubt in the minds of the public that she has some sort of bias against their client. But will they face an uphill battle here, especially because they're filing this before Judge Chutkan?
Interesting indeed. All right, stay with us. Don't go too far away. I also want to bring in CNN legal analyst Carrie Cordero and Norm Eisen. Norm, Trump attorneys are pointing to Judge Chutkan's comments, as we just heard, made in various cases involving other January 6th rioters. What do you make of that argument?
Well, Wolf, there needs to be a reasonable appearance of bias or partiality. And I don't think that these statements that Judge Chutkan made in those other cases amount to that. She's had to assess the larger context of who's responsible here as part of sentencing, including because those defendants have at times raised it. So if you look at the case law on what amounts to bias, this is not it. This motion is overwhelmingly likely to fail.
Carrie, what do you think?
I think that's right. It is a fairly high standard for a judge to make the recusal decision. Her statement was strong in terms of the fact that it was directed directly against the former president, who now is the defendant in the case before her. But the context is also important. And the context of it is that she was in consideration of the sentencing of other January 6th related defendants. So it's not as if she was just making these comments extraneously or without any prompting. It was in the context of prosecutions for the events of January 6th.